To call today's meeting to order. Today is Thursday, May 20th, 2021, and we will start with a Pledge of Allegiance. I see Brendan has his flag up. If you'll all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the
Allegiance
flag
to the
of
flag
the United
of the
States of
United
America
States of
and
America
to the republic
and to the republic for which
for
it
which it stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty,
with liberty and
justice
justice for
for
all.
all. Okay, thank you very much. Can we have roll call, please?
Stiganga,
I'm here.
Vero,
I'm here.
Fagione, Fagione,
You're muted, Tom.
Sierra, Sassy,
I'm here.
Here.
Lujan, Hines.
Here.
One absent.
Mr. Fagione, I do see he's here. I didn't hear him, but I do see he's here. If no one objects, we're going to move number 1 to last. The sheriff's office is going to go last, and we're going to start with number 2, which will be Commissioner Casey and Deputy Commissioner Tankasali. So for number 2, I'll need a motion to request and accept and appropriate federal funds from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for fiscal year 2019 hazardous materials grant program for the period 4/1/21 to 8/31/22. I have a motion, please.
So moved.
So moved.
Sassy
Stiganga.
and second by Stiganga. Vinny, the floor is yours.
Sure.
All right, so hello everyone. This grant is our yearly regional partnership grant. Every year, the state breaks up a certain amount of money that they have earmarked to hazmat teams throughout the state. The state is broken up into regions. Our region happens to be with Rockland County, Ulster, and Sullivan County. So they basically break up that money and give each region a certain amount. This year is different than previous years. We actually are managing this grant starting with the 2019 grant. Previously, Rockland County had managed it for 4 or 5 years. So basically, the counties take turns on who manages it for a couple of years. So that's kind of our turn in the barrel, so to speak. So we are going to start managing it, administrating the funds. The funds essentially are broken up equally between the 4 partners in the region. We do use it for our hazmat team to purchase some much needed equipment through grant funds. So I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for the Deputy Commissioner? Okay, seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? So carried unanimously. Thank you, Vinny. Next, we'll move on to number 3.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah,
please add Joel Sierra.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Number 3, A, request supplemental appropriation to capital projects budget to finance the upgrade of the auditorium and the emergency services center and command center equipment with the additional installation of new digital signage for the main lobby of the building, to include but not limited to new digital 4K video wall, new digital microphone to conform with federal standards, IP cameras for broadcast and recording, digital audio systems, main lobby signage, and lighting control. This is proposed capital project number 70 for $460,000 to come from bonding. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Fagione.
Mr.
Second,
Fagione, is there a second?
Stiganga.
Second by Stiganga. Go ahead, Brendan.
So this is the refresh of the auditorium. We've been working on this for the last couple of years. The equipment, like all of our tech, it gets worn out, it stops working. The companies that put it in stop supporting those platforms. So we need to upgrade it. A lot of it's the original equipment from when the building was built. We've been patching it together. As most of you know, the auditorium gets quite a bit of use, especially now during COVID and post-COVID. It's one of the training facilities where you can spread people out, and it's used across the board, not just by emergency services. Mental health uses it quite a bit. So it'll be a full upgrade, and it'll be all compatible with broadcasting, various things that are in there. And we'll change out that the screen that's up there we use for PowerPoint, and we'll put a video wall up.
What does it mean in the resolution when it says conform to federal standards?
That's something Luke put in there. It has to do with the, I guess, the microphone frequencies, the Bluetooth, the way they interact with each other. So it has something to do with the way they Bluetooth out, I guess.
All right, so it's not any kind of a rule that we have to do this. This is optional on our part.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we can continue to patch it up, but it's becoming less useful, and a lot of the equipment is not working properly.
Okay, anybody have any questions for the commissioner? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? So carried, unanimous. Thank you. We'll move on to letter B. Request supplemental appropriation to capital projects budget to finance the removal and replacement of the emergency services data center, the computer room air conditioning units with newer, more reliable and efficient units. This is proposed capital project number 69 for $252,000 to come from bonding. I have a motion, please. Mr. Sassy is the motion. Is there a second?
Luhan, second.
Mr. Vero is the second. Go ahead, Commissioner.
So these are what we refer to as the crack units. They are the air conditioning units, which are specifically placed into our data center. They run 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. There's a lot of electronic equipment in there. It has to operate at a certain temperature, so we have to maintain that temperature. Again, they are original units. They came with the building in 2008, and we've done some repairs on them, and they need to be replaced.
Okay, anybody have any questions for the commissioner? Mr. Kulisek, the floor is yours.
Yes, is I see something about weld failure. That the welds are actually in the unit, inside the units themselves?
Well, it has to do with the drainage. There's some leakage coming out of where they can connect to their drainage. There's condensation that's produced. So there were some failures there. We got them repaired. But again, these aren't air conditioning units that are like your house that just work in July and August. They work continuously, and they've been working continuously for 12 years, 13 years now. So they're just wearing out, and things are starting to fail on them.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Any questions for the commissioner? Okay, seeing none, we'll call the question. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? So carried unanimously. And you are done, Commissioner. Thank you very much. Now we'll move back to item number 1, and that's the sheriff's office. And first up, we'll have the corrections report. I need a motion to discuss the corrections report, please. Mr. Sassy
So move, Luhan.
and Mr. Lujan. Corrections report. Captain Catletti, is that you going to handle that today?
Sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir, I will handle corrections. Facility head count as of this morning, 0700 was 402. 71 were ICE, 79 were marshals. Our revenue to date as of end of April was $2,719,336. That's what I have right now.
Thank you. Are you allowing visitors, or are we still keeping that locked down?
As of June 1st, as long as everything stays the way it is, we're going to allow non-contact visits to resume and ease back into this.
Okay. And how about with any news with respect to ICE or marshal prisoners? You taking new ones or still avoiding it, or what's the status there?
No, we've been taking them as long as they're screened and have a COVID test, a negative COVID test, 72 hours prior to being brought in. We are still pushing, to try to get more boarders in here.
Okay. And how is the facility now with respect to COVID?
Right now, knock on wood, we're doing very well. We have no COVID cases with staff or inmates at the present time.
Have the inmates been offered vaccines or given them, or how would that work?
Currently, to date, we've vaccinated a total of 171 inmates. 123 of them are within the facility, and we continue to canvass for those that wish to have it and to be vaccinated. We have another 17 that are waiting on their second dose, and we're going to be moving forward with another about 40 doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine once we receive it from the Department of Health.
So is anyone that wanted a vaccine gotten it, or are we not there yet?
Yes, everybody that's wanted it to date, we canvass about every 2 weeks to see who wants to take it. Some people have changed their minds and decided to take it at a later date. Some people who signed up decided they don't want it. So we continually canvass, and then we've been receiving the doses from the Department of Health to fulfill those wishes.
How about your staffing? Is that, do you have a percentage of the people that have been vaccinated, or is that not public at this point?
No, that we're not permitted to track. We consulted with HR on that. We're not allowed to ask who's been vaccinated. We just continually promote vaccination for them and give them avenues where they can get it done if they wanted to get it done.
And everyone's been given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Captain Cataletti? All right, I don't see any questions, so thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you.
Now we can move on to the sheriff's report. I need a motion to discuss the sheriff's report, please.
So moved, Stiganga.
Stiganga and
Seconded by
Sass.
Sierra.
Got it. Under Sheriff Jones, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It's, you've seen some slight increases in activity due to the reopening of certain aspects of the court systems and are coming up online, and there's more activity in society, and that has the result it has in the criminal justice system. Let me just add one thing to the corrections report is that the state legislature passed the HALT Act and the governor signed it. It requires mandatory training for everyone in corrections. This year it'll be, I think, 30 hours of training, 27 hours minimum. And so that is going to create a substantial economic burden to us. We estimate somewhere around 1.5 million.
Will that training take place in-house, or you have to bring somebody in?
Well, we're exploring. The state did not give us clear direction on that. We're exploring in-house. As we speak, we believe we'll be able to do that, but that is not certain yet.
Okay, so that 1.5 is just the overtime cost you're saying, or is that going to be while they're
Correct.
on duty?
Correct.
Can we do that while they're on duty, or no?
No. No, not the nature of the duty. I'll take them off tour or day off. I mean, it's similar to the stipend training that we have in all the contracts, but this is new training, and going forward year after year, they'll require 24 hours of training mandatorily on top of all the training that we do now. So looking forward, it's going to be at least 2 or 3 days of training depending on the year-to-year requirements of the state.
And what's the nature of the topics? Do you have a choice in topics, or is there a curriculum?
It's there's all sorts of critical incident, and I think what I'll do is just ship over a copy of the act and to you guys in order for you to review it and point out the particular parts so you can read it for yourself.
Okay. You think it's more intensive than the existing stuff? I know you have every certification out there.
It's just additional training. And you have to follow a particular syllabus. So it might free up a few hours in what we're doing currently if they overlap, but there isn't a whole lot of overlap that we're seeing. Most of this is new training, despite what we currently do.
Okay, thank you. You want to highlight the sheriff's report?
Again, the sheriff's report sort of an average month, except for in pistol permits, which continues to come in at unprecedented rates, requests for pistol permits. And you do, I think in this report, you see, we're starting to report to you the methods, a cross-section of arrests and tickets issued. It can be a little, that can be a little confusing because, and I have them clean it up, because it's using a federal system, and a federal system, if you did like the math down the right column, you go, wait a minute, there's more people than the total arrests. Because in the federal system, they count Hispanics as white and black, et cetera, and you get duplicative counts. And so we're going to try and make that a little clearer for the legislature to digest. But, the numbers are what they are. And if someone's got any questions related to that, I'll answer them as best we can.
And that came out of the whole 203 project from the governor's office?
Yeah, we're posting it publicly anyway, and we're doing your reports. If you've been checking on us, you'll see that a lot of our policies and procedures are up online now. They pass through law first, and then as law approves them, we post them. The complaint button has been up for a while. It has not been very active. Many of the button complaints are for Orange County, California, so you know. And how they end up in the Orange County, New York, I don't know. But we really haven't any significant complaints haven't come in. We've gotten more good guy emails than we have complaints.
Oh, that's good to hear.
That's a
Anybody
good
have any
thing.
questions? Does anybody have any questions for the undersheriff with respect to the sheriff's report? Okay, I see none, so we'll accept that report. You had indicated you might need a personnel session. Is that still your intention, or are we finished today?
Yes, I think it should be at least addressed.
Okay, so Legislative Counsel Abram, can you please give us the section of law that we will go into executive session for? And then after you do that, I'll take a motion to do so.
Sure. So pursuant to Section 105F of the Public Officers Law, we'll go into executive session to discuss employment matters pertaining to a particular person.
Okay, is there a motion, please?
So moved,
Mr.
Stiganga.
Vero and Mr. Sassy. Okay, so we will move into executive session. The undersheriff will join us. Is there anybody else you need with you, undersheriff, to move into this?
No.
Okay, so for our computer people and all was out of executive session. No action was taken in executive session. And now we need a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
That was Mr. Fagione. Is there a second? Mr. Sassy, thank you. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.
Aye.